Hello and welcome to Friday's second edition of Cracking the Cryptic. There was, of course, a crossword video earlier on, which was a wonderful puzzle, as usual, in the Times on Fridays. But we're not doing crosswords. Oh, I suddenly thought that this puzzle didn't fit on the screen. No, but it looks like it's just in my window. We're going to be having a look at this puzzle, which, I mean, this is by ChinStrap. It looks bonkers to me. Moving on Up is the name of the puzzle. And you can see that there is a thermometer. Just one thermometer, and it's curling round the whole of the grid. I mean, it's a miracle, this. Apparently, Skojo has set a new competition for setters, in which they're only allowed to use each type of constraint once. So that's why there's an enormous thermo. There's one white dot, one black dot, and one X domino. I mean, it's extraordinary. It's just extraordinary. And people like Marty Sears have emailed us about this one, saying that we just have to look at it, which of course we're delighted to do. And I found it on Logic Masters Germany before I turned on the webcam, and one of the comments might be my most favourite comment I've ever read about a puzzle. You can see everyone says it's brilliant, but where's it's Calvinball's comment. It's your first day at Hogwarts. You've watched your parents and read your books, and you think you know a little something about magic. And then out of nowhere the cat turns into Professor McGonagall, and you realise you don't know Jack. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. So ChinStrap, I think he's come up with a miracle here. And this is what we're going to have a look at in today's video in a moment or two's time. I'll read you the rules. But before we do that, I've mentioned the crossword video. What else can I tell you about? Oh, we're streaming on Monday. Monday's not that far away, is it? It's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday. So streaming 10 p.m. UK time on Monday. More blueprints. So anybody interested, you might like to pop that one in your diaries. We'd love to have your company if you're free. And of course, what else? Oh, well, we've got our worms. We've got some new worm apps. Fistimafel and Juggler are the new worm apps, so check those out. But that's not why I wanted to come to this tab. I wanted to come to this tab because I wanted to get a refresh on... Oh, there we go! The Skunkworks pack. Is this going to fit on? It might not. But this is our competition that's just started on the 1st of October. So it's only been running for a little time, but you can see we've already had 1,200 solves of the first puzzle. And if we scan down, there are 68 puzzles in this competition. It looks like around 110 people now have solved all of them. That's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And that you can see if you just scan the list of names, Fool on Hill there, Florian Wortman. I mean, this is just a small Jadawo, Michael Lefkowitz, Meme Brister, Malrog. I mean, it's just fantastic. It really is fantastic. So get involved. It's over on Patreon. The closing date's the 20th. Oh, and we could look at this as well. This is Blobs' way of visualizing it. That's great. Yeah, so I think the curve sort of, this is going up a bit. It's slightly stockier at the thin end. Anyway, that's over on Patreon right now. Do have a look. I think you'll enjoy it. Now, what else? Birthdays. Let me look at my list of birthdays to do. Anna, you've turned 19 today. And I know this because your friend AJ wrote to us and was very keen that we say happy birthday to you. AJ says, you're amazing, kind and wonderful. That's three pretty good adjectives, isn't it, on a birthday? So Anna, I hope you have a great 19th birthday today. I hope there's some chocolate cake in store. And of course, it's properly iced. Next, Sammy. Sammy, you've turned 34 today. And I know this because your partner Josie wrote to us. The two of you, I think, have both been watching for over 2 years, so thank you for watching for such a long time. And I think you're in London this weekend, but plan to return to your home of Cumbria on Sunday and finish off any leftover chocolate cake while watching an edition or two of Cracking the Cryptic. So I hope you get the message, Sammy. I hope you had a great birthday. I hope London was good. The weather at the moment is absolutely foul. But hopefully you're doing something inside. Many happy returns. And then finally, we'll go over to Poland, where Cassia, it's your birthday today. And I know this because Jakub wrote to us I think last year I may have given you a shout out, but last year you were Yakov's girlfriend. This year you're his fiancée. So congratulations, and good luck this year. I know it's a big year for you with a graduation coming up. And Cassia, many happy returns. I hope the cake is very well iced and chocolatey. Now, that's all the news. Let's have a look at Moving On Up by ChinStrap. This is numbered rooms today. I'm not very good at numbered rooms, but the rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Oh, I see. So normal Sudoku rules apply in the bit that looks like a Sudoku, the 9x9 in the middle. So in this 9x9 grid, let's colour it in. We've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Numbered rooms. All outside cells on the thermo must contain a digit. That digit must also appear in the nth position looking into the grid in the row column where n is the digit in the first position. So what does that mean? If that is a 5, so that digit must also, so the 5 must appear. So, all right, so we put a digit in here, which now I notice can't be a 5 because that would put a 5 here. Let's make that a 4. That would say put the 5 in the 4th position from this side, I think. So that would be a 5, maybe. I'm just going to reread it. Looking into the grid from that position. Yeah, so let's do one over here. Let's make that an 8 and this a 3. So that's saying put the, oh, hang on. No, yeah, it's saying put the 8 in the 3rd position. So that would be an 8. I find numbered rooms, for some reason, I just find them peculiar. Anyway, that's how that rule works. Then we've got this thermometer, which is a slow thermometer today. So digits on the slow thermometer must not decrease. That's a big difference. Must not decrease starting from the bulb end, the circle. So starting from here, as we go up the thermometer, we could never go sort of 5, 4, because that's a decrease, but we could go 5, 5. You could keep doing that for as long as you're allowed to, which is a terrifying thought, frankly. And then, oh goodness, and there's hardly any more rules. So the white dot separates consecutive digits, so if that's a 5, that's got to be a 6 or a 4. To be consecutive with 5. The black dot separates digits where one is double the other. So if this is a 4, this is either 2, because 4 is double 2, or it's 8, because 8 is double 4. And the X separates digits that sum to 10. So if this is a 4, oh, I tried to type 4, 3 will work. If that's a 3, that's a 7. That's how X's work. That's it. That is all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I've got no clue. The thing is, this thing, for as long as it stays outside the actual Sudoku grid, I mean, can we just have ones all the way around the grid? Is that possible? If that was possible, but then that could be a 1 as well, couldn't it? That couldn't be a 1. That would have to be a 2. But that could be a 2. That could be a 3. So the thermo could be absolutely bonkers. Okay, and at the top end then. Yeah, so let me just look at that again. So if that's a 1, 2, because that has, this is Sudoku is applying in this row. So that has to be more than 1. That could stay the same because they're on a diagonal. But then that has to be different from 1 and 2. So the digit in this cell can't be higher than 7. Because if it was 8, this would be 10 at least. No, okay, no, so I don't know what that means. So So there must be some principle that applies to numbered rooms, which is going to force maybe you know, if that could all be ones, that couldn't be any ones at all, or something like that. Maybe that has to have a 2 or start with a 2, and then this has to start with a 3, and this has to start with a 4, because I don't see how we're getting any pressure on this. Oh, I mean, there's nothing in the grid. This thermo provides no pressure, these provide no pressure, so it's entirely due to this enormous slow thermo. See, I'm just not good enough at numbered rooms. So if this is 5, all we're saying is now that this digit can't be 5, aren't we? Why couldn't that be? And you may know the answer, in which case, sorry. Why can't that be anything apart from 5? Oh, it can't be 1. If that's 1, that would be saying put a 5 on top of the 1. Yeah, that doesn't work. So if that's a 1, I'm meant to put the 5 in this position, and yet it's already a 1. So you can't put 1 in there. If this is 2, that's 5. If this is 3, that's 5. 4, that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1. So the digits that are restricted on numbered rooms, if you don't know anything else about the clue, is either the digit that's the same as the numbered room clue you're trying to propagate into the grid. So again, if this is 8, you can't have 8 below it. That doesn't work. Can you have 1 below? Oh, you can have 1 below 1. Yeah, okay, you can. I was going to say the other digit is 1, because any digit on the thermo, well, there must be a 1 in this row. So that's going to make the clue above it. Yeah, right. Right, yeah, okay, so here's the point, or here's a point. There is a 1 in this row, and I haven't got a clue where it is. But I do now know that the numbered room clue above the 1 has to be a 1. Otherwise, if it's anything else, the clue breaks, because you're sort of having to put a digit on top of the 1 that isn't the 1 itself. Now, that's fascinating. You don't want to talk to me at parties. I know that. No, but that is fascinating. Because now, well, at least, well, there must be a 1 in this column. There must be a 1 in this row, but could that be over that side? Yeah, I mean, there must be a 1 in this column. So again, there must be a 1 on the thermometer adjacent to this column. So every single cell round here is a 1. That feels like it's important. Right. Oh, so hang on. Oh no, does this, oh no, hang on, that does, this is so confusing. So whatever that cell is, it's propagating a 1. Whatever that cell is, oh, I see, so these add up to 10. Ah. Oh. Okay, so, right. This is not a 1. This is not a 1. We're going to run into trouble here with 5. What do I mean? Well, in fact, we're going to run into a problem here with 5. There's a 5 somewhere in this column. Let's put it here. Well, no. I want to put it opposite a 1. Let's look at this column. If that's a 5, what's that saying? It's saying put a 1 here. But this clue has the same property, so I should put a 5 there. 5 and 5, well, is going to be a Sudoku problem. Normally it'll work if the ones are opposite, because they'll add up to 10. Like if this was 1, that would be, whoopsie, that would be a 3 and that would be a 7. So you're always adding up to 10 across the perimeter. Yes, I vaguely remember that from some other numbered room clues I've done in the past, I think. Yeah, so there's going... Yeah, so the digits... So if the clue is the same on the other side of the grid, i.e. if the thermometer is the same, all of those cells, none of these can be 5s, because you'll get 2 5s in the column. I mean, this now can't be a 1, because all of those would be a 1, and we'll get a 5 somewhere there and a 5 somewhere there, and they'll be opposite each other in the grid and break Sudoku. So that is at least a 2. I mean, that's a terrible deduction, but it's true. Sorry, there's something here, isn't there? I've just got to figure out, what does this mean? I don't know. I know none of those. I know none of these is a 5. I also, actually, no, I know more than that. I know... where is the 1 in this row? That's something I can think about, I think. I'm not even sure this can't... no, that can't be a 1, because that would be a 1. Hang on. Right, okay. Right. In fact, yeah, where is 1 in this row? That is a good question. Right. I'm going to disprove everything apart from those 2 cells. It definitely can't be in any of these cells. Because if you do put 1 here, this clue we now know is a 1. And that cannot be true, because that's going to make everything before it on the thermo a 1. And I'm going to have a 5 problem between these. Because if this is a 5, that's going to be a 5 on the other side of the grid if this is a 1. That's definitely not going to work. So you can't put 1 in any of those cells, because it's going to give us a problem here. So there are no 1s here. This can't be a 1, because that's going to make, again, if I put 1 on this thermo, it does the same thing. Everything before it has to be a 1. Just because I've gone into the grid, for some reason in my brain that felt different, but it's the same point. So in fact the 1 is in one of those cells, which means one of those cells is a 9. So if... No. Oh, this is so confusing. How could that be a 1? Isn't that going to be a 2? That can't work. I don't think that works. I might be wrong. If that's a 1, I think this should be a 2 from the horizontal direction, because we're saying where is the 1 in row 9? It's in the 2nd position. But don't I have to do the same here? So this is saying put the 1 in position 2, and I'm going to get a clash. So that's definitely not right. So I think we can put 1 in the corner, which means this is a 9. Therefore, this clue is saying that is a 1. Oh, okay, so that does do that clue. And I've got some digits in the grid, which is a win for the goodies, maybe. And now what do we do? I actually am not unhappy that I could even start this. So we know that those are not 5s, because that would put a 5 down here and break Sudoku. So the 5 in row 1 is in one of those cells, which means the 1 in row 5 is in one of those cells. That's a horrible, horrible. Maybe I'll do colours. Yeah, maybe I'll do colours for ones, because I don't like pencil marking across boxes. I could just do that, maybe. Hopefully that will make me realise. So there's a 1 in one of these. Ah, right, so this digit is 5, 6, 7 or 8 then. Oh, no, 5, 6, 7 or 8. And that's going to be important. Why? If it was 5, then this couldn't be a 1. And yeah, and there's an entropy thing going on, isn't it? This reminds me a bit of those 159 puzzles. Because what we're going to have to do, if you look here, for example, neither of these cells can be a 2 or a 3. We sort of saw this when this was a 2, but if either of these were 2 or 3, it's popping a 1 into the same box as this one. Yeah, it is a bit like a 159 puzzle. So imagine this was an 8 for a moment. What that's saying is we've got a 1 here. But now neither of these could be 7 or 9, because that's going to put a 1 into the same box that we've already got the 1 in. So one of these is going to be from 4, 5, 6, which is going to pop the 1 into the middle box, and one of these is going to be from 1, 2, 3, and that's going to pop the 1 into this box. Now, yeah, and that's this white dot is sick. It's such brilliant setting, frankly. Okay, because based off what I've just said then, these squares can't be things like 7s and 8s, because that's going to duplicate a 1 in box 3. Yet they have to be of different entropy. They have to plonk a 1 into this box and this box, not the same box. So they have to be a 3, 4 pair. Isn't that beautiful? So there's now a 1 in one of, well, in two of these cells. Now these cells, well, hang on. Oh no, I'm wrong. Oh no, am I wrong? So I know one of these is a 1. And I know one of those is a 1. So the numbered rooms clue for this cell is 2 or 3. But we've just put 3 or 4 here, so that's got to be 2. Which means this is 1, this is 1, this is 4, this is 3. This is just weird. Now, therefore that's a 3. Oh, what's that now? That's on the thermo. That's an 8. Oh, okay. Well, that's so that, yeah. So if this is an 8, that has to be an 8, so that this doesn't break the bank, and it can't be bigger than 9, can it? And this digit is a 7. Because that's in the 7th position from this side, and we are cluing a 1. Now, so 1 is in one of those 3 positions, which means one of these 3 cells is a 2, and not that one apparently. So one of those is a 2, so this isn't a 1. So somewhere, either there or there, is a 2-1 pair. Eight is in one of those cells by Sudoku. This digit is at least, it's 5, 6, hang on, let's look at that cell. 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 1 in this column, oh, this is important, isn't it? Well, that can't, no, we know that can't be 5, because that would put a 5 here. So 6, 7 or 8. but I know one of these is a 1. So I think this is... Oh, yeah, I tell you how I could have done this. I could have used entropy in these 3 cells. This is a low digit, so it's plonking the 1 into this box. This is a big digit, so it's plonking a 1 into that box. So this needed to be the digit that plonks the 1 into this box, and the only digit available is 6. So that's lovely. So that's 6. This is 1, so this is 2. I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Let's double click. Oh no. No, I'm not double clicking all those ones. I'll just make those ones green. Oh, can't do those. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know. What? Okay, actually, I'm going to get rid of the green. It's making me not focus on digits. I don't like that. Right, 5, 7, 8 into those cells, and I can see this one can't be an 8. I've got a horrible feeling that the whole of this part of the puzzle is going to be nearly impossible, because the numbered room clues just sort of... They're going to pinpoint a lot of 1s, aren't they? But after that, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. So there is an 8 in this domino. So there's an 8 in this domino. That is putting a 1 into one of those cells. Now, so this clue is 4 or 5, that means, which apparently is possible. So this clue has to plonk. Well, by Sudoku, we can see there's a 1, in fact, in one of 2 places, possibly on this, if that was a 9. Don't know if that's possible or not, but then... Actually, that can't be 8. If this is an 8, that would be a 2, which is not correct. But anyway, let me just go back to what I was thinking about. So 1 by Sudoku is in one of those cells, so this digit is 7 or 8. And one of these 2 digits is a 7, because there's a 1 in one of these, so this digit is not a 7. So this digit, we already knew that. Okay, it's weird. The way it sort of goes round in circles is very odd indeed. There's no 8 on the black dot now, or actually all 1. So that is, well, that is an interesting thought. So what is the nature of this black dot? I think prime facie it's either 2, 4 or 3, 6. But if it's 6, if there's a 6 on here, that's doing something with those. Because a 6... If these are 6, or one of these is a 6, it's putting that digit on the thermo, isn't it? If that's a 6, that's definitely saying this is an 8. That cannot be an 8 because 7 is higher up on the thermo than it. That's definitely not a 6, so that's definitely not a 3. Now if this is a 6, that has to be a 7 on the thermo, which would be possible. Except it wouldn't. Would it? Because if those are all... If this is 7, all 3 of those are 7, and we've learned already that we have to obey entropy. If all 3 of these are 7, one of these 3 digits needs to transplant the 7 that it's indexing into this box, which is going to require one of these digits to be a 7, 8 or 9, which none of them can be. So we're going to be faced with the prospect of putting 2 7s or 3 7s into those 2 boxes of the Sudoku, which are clearly going to break Sudoku. So this is not a 7, so this is not a 6, which means this is not a 3, so this is a 2, 4 pair. Why do I go off up there? What does that mean? That means I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? So if that's a 2, that would be a 4. So that would be a 4, I think, because the 4 would be transplanted into the second position. So if that's a 2, that's a 4, which looks quite good on the thermo, to be honest. If that's a 4, that's a 2. So this digit is the one that we have to put on the thermo here. 2. So that digit would be at least a 3. And that digit, hang on, no, it's all right. I was thinking this couldn't be a 2, because it would be transplanting these 2 digits into those 2 cells, but providing those are different. If that's a 2, there has to be a different digit. This has to be higher than this digit, I think. Oh, bobbins, I think I'm going to get stuck again now. What on earth am I meant to do now? 7, 1, 1. So 1 in one of those cells. I don't understand this. I'm going off somewhere else. These, okay, so these cells are indexing 5, 6. These are either 5, 6, or 7. I don't know what that means. If this is a 4, that digit is a what? That digit would be 2, 3, 5, or 6. I mean, I'm so bad with these things. I can feel you all shouting at me. Don't shout at me. I just don't understand. 3 is in one of those cells. Oh, hang on. Here's an interesting thought. If this was a 1 here, if either of these, if say that was a 1, so both of these were a 1, that can't work, because then there'd be a 2 in one of those cells indexing these 1s, and we know there isn't. So these cells, or that cell in particular, is bigger than 1. That's at least a 2. So there has definitely been an increase in size of thingy by the time we get here. Which might be important. I don't know. And then these 2 digits have to have a middle entropy digit. So there's going to be a 1 in one of those, because there can't be a 1 in these cells. So one of these is a 4 or a 5. And then the other is going to be a 7 or an 8. Yeah, which we can sort of see, can't we? That's completely reasonable. What's that 9 saying? Right, that digit. That digit can't be an 8, because this 9 is transplanting this digit into this position. So if this was an 8, it would be transplanted here. That's fine, except it's not, is it? Because then the thermo's breaking, because we'd have an 8 lower on the thermo than the 7. So that's a 4, 5, or a 7. which means that's a 4, 5 or a 7, which means this is now no longer a 1. It's so strange, which means this is no longer a 5. And I have no clue what all this means. Okay. Is this in some way, in any way obvious? Oh, hang on. That's a 4. Giving, oh, that's absolutely huge. That's a 4, that's a 2. But now, this is going to cause this to go up, isn't it? Because this is what I wasn't sure was going to be possible. This digit is now a 4. Okay, that doesn't break that one, because the 2 is transplanting it. But if this digit was also a 4, that would be putting a 4 here in the horizontal clue. So that digit is a 1, 2 or a 3. And we know that it's not a 1. We knew that anyway, didn't we? So these digits are all 2s and 3s now. And these digits are 1s, 2s and 3s. Now, if that was a 1, this would be a 6. If that was a 1... Oh, hang on. If this is a 1, no, if this is a 1, that's a 7. That would make this an 8. But wait a minute, what's this digit now? Because okay, that's a 3. Because it's getting transplanted here. So these squares are 5 and 6. This digit is not a 3 anymore. And this digit, which can't, this can't be 8. Because if that's an 8, this is an 8. And that's breaking this thermo absolutely all over the place. So this is an 8, which is transplanting a 2 or a 3 into this position over here. This is completely bonkers. Now this digit is whatever is on the thermo here, which could be a 4, 4, 5, 6 or 7, I think. I think they are the options. So that, 4 is not possible because this has to be not a 4 by Sudoku. So 5, 6 or 7, which means this is 5, 6 or 7, and that is no longer 4. So this is 5 or 7. Now, come on, Simon. What's this X now? Can we do that? Can that be a 1? This would be a 9. If this isn't a 1, it's a highish digit, isn't it? It's a 6, 7 or 9. It's not a 9. So this digit is a bit under pressure. 1, 6 or 7, I think. So this is 9, 3 or 4. I'm going to double check that though. If this is 1, that's 9. That's definitely true. This can't be 2, 3, 4. Can't be 5 because that's going to put 2 5s along the X. 6, 7, possible. 8, not possible. 9, not possible because this would be a 1. So 1, 6, 7 for this cell. And then this cell is transplanting this digit into 5, 6 or 7. Oh, sorry. Now, for some reason, my brain then started counting downwards. And I was thinking, this can't be a 6 because that would make this cell a 3, 4, and 9. No, if this is a 6, it's putting a digit there, isn't it? Yeah, because I count up. So if this is a 5, I count up. Oh, yeah. That's lovely. Right. Yeah, this can't be 5 But do you remember why? We worked this out right at the start. If you put 5, if you put any digit apart from 1 along the thermo, and then put the same digit in the perimeter, you get a clash by Sudoku. So if this is 5, the thermo is going to go 5s. One of these is a 5, don't know which one, but whichever one, let's say it's that one, that's saying write 5 into that position and break the column. So that can't be true. So that's a 7, I think. Oh, I was about to take 7 out. That's not how it works. If that's a 7, that's saying write 7 here. Okay, I will. So, oh, this is good. So that's 8, which is transplanting a 1 here. So this is no longer a 1-9 pair, because now this is a 1. This is no longer a 7 or an 8. The 7 here is saying write 1 down there, so that we can get rid of 1s from here, 1s from here. Now, these clues are now useful, aren't they? Because that's become a 5. Oh, my space bar's still skipping. That's, so this is now a 6-7 pair. That's now a 5. That's a 6. Okay, this can't be a 1, because this clue is transplanting to this cell, and the options are 5, 6, and 7. So the 1s are in the alternative situation, which means this is miraculous. It's oh, careful. Oh, in fact, very careful. This can't be a 1, because that would be a 2 by the funny rule, because it would be indexing the 1. So how many 1s have I actually... I've done all the 1s. I've just got to make sure I've done all the perimeters. I haven't done that. That must be an 8. This is a 5. This is a 4. I mean, it does seem to be working, doesn't it, in the loosest sense. That's a 9, actually. Just to fill in that digit, that's a 9. Let's do some Sudoku. There's a 9 in one of those. These digits are, well, 6. Actually, where's 6 in that box? That's doable. 6. So this is a 2-3 pair. This row needs a 5 in it. I can do that. That's got to be here. That's digits of 2 or a 3. These are a 2, 3, 4. Now this digit is transplanting this digit to here. And that is beautiful. That's it, isn't it? Well, no, it does this cell, because I can't transplant 5 or 6 to this cell, so that's got to be a 7. So that's a 7. Doesn't do anything to these. This is a 5, so this can't be a 5. I've learned that now. So this is a 6 or a 7, which is transplanting to... Well, we don't know, actually. No, we don't know. It's one of these two is a 6 or a 7. No, hang on. No, careful, Simon. No, no, this is very important. Don't get it the wrong way round. This 6 or 7 is being transplanted there, and it can't be a 6, so that is a 7. Which means this is a 6, this is a 7, this X clue now is a 4. That is a 7. I still don't... Oh, I do. This clue's just been done for ages. It sees a 7. The third cell in that order. So it goes... So the thermo goes 1, 1, 1, 1s, and then something in this column, and then 3, 4, 7s, a couple of 8s and a 9. Now, what do we do next then? This column perhaps? 2, 3, 9. Let's put that in. I mean, I can see this one isn't a 3. That one? No clue. 7 is there by Sudoku. So this is 5. So these squares are now a 7, 8 pair. We should know what these are. 5, 9. Not put 5 into this column. So those are 3, 4. I mean, the Sudoku is still... It's still not breaking in an obvious way, which is good. It means that we probably haven't made an error. Famous last words. Now, well, it's either Sudoku or it's these clues, and these clues look terrifying. Do I have to? Do I really have to look at those? I don't know. I don't know. What are they? 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. I mean, this is absurd. But let's have a quick look. That can't be 3. That can't be 5. That can't be 7. In fact, no. Hang on. None of these can be 7, which I hadn't noticed. That can't be 6. That can't be... Oh, I see. Sorry, it's this one. I mean, you'd never think to look there unless you pencil marked it. But look at this square. This is 3, 5 or 9, transplanting a 2 or a 3. Well, if this was 3, then this clue should be a 7. Well, it's not that that's wrong. And if this is 9, this clue should be a 6. So that's wrong. So this is a 5, I think. And that lets us take 5 out of some of the other clues. And that's saying this cell is a 2 or a 3. Which apparently doesn't tell us anything. Right, that's not a 3. Because this clue isn't a 4. That could be a 9, couldn't it? If that's a 2, the 9 would go there. If this is a 6, it would be a 2. So I think this clue is always a 2. I'm just going to double check that, because I think this is indexing either there or there, and neither of these cells can be a 3. So that is a 2, which means everything else above it can't be a 3. That must be true. So these two apparently can't be 1s. So those two are now 2s. But we don't know about these. But... well, let's be careful. Hang on, let's be very careful. So this clue is now indexing a 2 into the row. Well, it definitely isn't a 9. Because a 2 and 8 are not the same digits. There's a knowledge bomb. And there's a 2 in one of those cells. So there's a 2 in one of those, a 2 in one of those. See if that's a 2, it's really very useful. Okay, what about this one then? So 1 or 2, see that could be a 2. That could be a 1. Okay, this can't be 7 or 9. Because these two aren't 1s and 2s. So that's a 3, 6 pair now. So this is definitely a 9. And oh, that doesn't do it. Well, it means that's not a 9. No. Oh, okay, so there's a 9 in one of those. That can't be a 9. So this is a 6 or a 7. Bobbins. Oh, it's a 7 by Sudoku. We've already got a 6 in the column, so that's a 7. Oh, so this is a 1, which doesn't put any pressure on the digit below it, but never mind. That 7 means that we get the 7 and the 8 resolved. So 8 is in one of those two cells. And all we've got to do now is figure out how this naughty little puzzle finishes off. Now, how are we going to do that? We could put... I don't have a clue, actually. Could we do... 8 is in one of those cells by Sudoku. 2, 3, 6, 8. 2, 3, 6, 8. So 3... that's useful. That's useful. Where's 3 in this box? And the answer is usual. As so often as I don't know. But that has given me a 4 here and a 3 here, which gives me a 2 in the middle. That's use. Oh, hang on. I already knew that. I just didn't use it for some reason. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. No, okay, I'll use it. I'll use this one then. That can't be a 6 now, because that would put a 2 here. So by entropy, that's got to be a 3. That's got to be a 6, which is indexing a 1. So we go 3 1s, 3 2s at least, and then something. Oh, can we get this? Oh, no. No, we can't, actually. 8 and 4 is those two squares being indexed, and we don't know what the digits are in them. This is a 2 now. That's a 9. Oh, 9. That's a 3. These squares have got to be 5 and 2, which is resolved. 5 and 2, if I could type. Anyway, those squares are 6 and 8. 5 here means 5 and 9 go into the grid. That row hasn't had a 4 yet. This row hasn't had 6 and 9. Yes, that's good. 9 and 6 can go into the grid. So this row needs 3, 5, 8. Oh, there's another banging of the door. So this is a 3, 8 pair, I believe. The 4 here means this is a 2. So that's 3, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2. That's 3, that's 8, that's 8. Here we go. That's 9. And in this, we need 2, 4, 6. So 2, 4, 6. Oh, and now we've got to work this out. Okay, so 8 is a 3. So this should be a 3 unless we've made a mistake. It is. 4 indexing to that. That is spectacular. That is absolutely brilliant. I wasn't very good at it, I don't think. But I did solve it. And the logic is fascinating. It's fascinating that so much of the perimeter is very funny. Then this column was horrible. I mean, actually, I tell you what's also exceptionally clever about this. And that is the use of these funny dominoes. They all did that. This one did mighty work because it put the ones in those. And then somehow I knew the order. I can't remember how, but I did. And that thing was important as well. It's a brilliant puzzle, ChinStrap. That is miraculous, totally miraculous. Loved it. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.